Hi everyone, so today I am making some natural soaps, and I'm probably going to put several together in this video. I have my oils here with a little kaolin clay. I meant to mix my kaolin clay with my essential oils, but then I went and forgot. This is some coconut milk. It's very thick coconut milk. I have a new batch now of this culinary coconut milk, so I'm going to see what kind of a difference it is if this next batch is as thick, but it won't be in this video today. We'll just have to take a gander at that the next time. Okay, that's mixed in quite well. Adding in the lye solution. My essential oil blend and the kaolin clay. The clay is said to anchor scents, so I thought I'd just give it a try. I add kaolin clay anyways, but I thought we'll try it inside the essential oils this time. Certainly can't hurt anything, now can it? Okay. So this first one is the lemongrass. Lemongrass may have been one of the first soaps that I ever made, just because it's kind of like your entry-level essential oil soap scent. I do want this to be a little thick. So I'm going to try to make sure I blend it in well enough. I'm already getting it a pretty good trace here, as you probably can see. That's going to be about perfect. It's just slightly yellow. It doesn't give a lot of color to the soap, and I've decided not to add a lot for additional color. Now I'm going to save the stick blender for the next batch because it also has lemongrass in the blend. Look how thick and lovely that is. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we better get this in the mold. This is getting downright thick on me now. My room smells so good with all these essential oils. I can't even tell you. Essential oil soaps may tend to be simple, but they're certainly not inexpensive. I'm going to get in your way here just for a minute. I'll try to go the other way, but I'm not that talented. But they're certainly not inexpensive. Essential oils can be quite pricey. We try to make our soaps just super luxurious with quality ingredients. Looks like I'm going to give this one a good old smack down and finish scraping, and I'll be back. Alright, I've smoothed it out a bit. I'm just going to texture the top just a little bit. It's quite thick. Now to top this one, I have just a little bit of a lemon tea blend. I'm just gonna swoosh back and forth like so. So it has some lemongrass in it. There's some little bit of lemon rind. I thought that would be really pretty for the top of this soap. Just give it a little bit of color and a little bit of texture naturally. It sure doesn't take much. I cut open one tea bag and I still have quite a lot to show for it. I think there's also just a smidgen of hibiscus in this. Okay, so there we have the lemongrass soap. I'm going to set this aside and start on the next. Alright, moving along now to make my citrus essential oil soap. I made it with buttermilk last time, but I am making it with coconut milk for this occasion. Here we have the coconut milk. I meant to add that in, but as usual I forgot, so we'll just put her all in together here. This is such a spectacular scent. I just adore it. It has orange. Okay, I'm gonna stay put there. Has orange essential oil, has lime essential oil, Litsea. I've got that kaolin clay in there again. And let's see, what's the other one? Oh, just a tinge of lemongrass. Now when I initially made this one, I was just blending and using up what I had on hand. And oh, it is a winner. Look at that color. This soap is going to be such a delightful color. This would look so pretty with some dried orange on it, but darned it, I don't have any. I am trying to make these soaps simple and consistent. I would like not to have to retake my pictures every time I make a new batch of soap. I have some wholesale plans for these essential oil soaps also. So I want to make them just kind of uniform and alright, I'm done with that stick blender because I'm moving on to a different kind of essential oil and I don't want them to be mixed or contaminated. Not really contaminated in the bad sense, but I don't want it to have any essential oils in the next batch that are not supposed to be there. I'm going to attempt just to get this poured without traipsing back and forth to see that my mold is in the exact right position. Hopefully it's not too bad. I need one of those cameras that have the viewfinder from that will turn around that I can see what is up. Oh yes, that is the texture I prefer to work with. This one's not going to have any extra toppers on it. I'll probably just zhuzh it up a little bit. Okay, so for this one, I'm just giving it some slight peaks here. This little spoon dip and wave. I don't like it to have too pokey of tops. I think that's gonna look nice. Okay, so we are done with the next soap, which is my citrus soap. Starting fresh once again, I'm gonna get the coconut milk in there ahead of time this time. This one is liquefying just a bit as it sets. It warmed up. Okay, I'll set that aside. For the essential oil, I have a new popper here. Now for the lye solution. This smells amazing. This one's a mix of rosemary and peppermint, and together they're very much like an Andes mint scent. Definitely a favorite. I must say, I think they're all favorites. It just takes me back to the good old days when I first started making soap, and you know, back then I only did essential oil and natural soaps. So I'm going back to my roots a little bit here. It's starting to thicken up just a titch. So I'm going to start cleaning off my stick blender because it'll probably thicken up on me. I'll be getting another new one. Whenever I get a new stick blender, I buy multiples so that I have extras of the attachments, and I also end up having an extra motor if it goes out on me. It's just a convenient thing. This is just a creamy color. Love it. I do have plans to be making some essential oil salt soaps as well, but I'll have to be doing a restock on some of my essential oils before I can do that. I've got a lot of plans coming up, so stay tuned. A lot of exciting things. So nice and thick. This one I'm just going to give a little bit of a swirl with the popsicle stick, like so. Smack it down. Smacking down kind of levels it out a bit. And then I have a little bit of peppermint tea, and I'm just gonna put it on one side. This is a little decoration. If this turns brown, I won't be disappointed. It would be, I would anticipate that, but being that it's on the top, I may not have too much trouble with it. Just loving this off-centered, just like little line. Same as I did on my coffee show. Alright, well, looks good. Alright, so rosemary peppermint soap, done. This final soap today is going to be cedarwood and fir. I'm using cedarwood Atlas, so it's a little bit more like the heart. What do you call it? The heart of the cedar tree. I don't know. But it does actually smell more like the bark of a cedar tree. I have a new shaft here again. Tap out the air bubbles. In with the lye solution. I think why these are accelerating on me a little bit is this is a very powerful stick blender. I probably should have used my blue Cuisinart. It's not quite as strong. This one I want to have a little bit more creativeness with, so I would like it to not accelerate too much. So this is a blend of cedarwood Atlas and use a little spatula and the fir needle essential oil. This is the first time I've ever used this blend. It's quite amazing. Trying to be multi-talented and use my left hand, but you know, it's not really panning out a whole lot. Alright, so we're going to set him aside, stir a bit, and then I want to pour some off because I'm going to have just the slightest of a swirl. Staying nice and thin, this one. So in this little pitcher, I'm going to add just a titch of cocoa powder. Just a titch more though. Isn't that pretty? That is delightful, and I need a different spatula. Throwing stuff on the floor, not good. Okay, so here we have just the prettiest pale brown. It's getting a little reddish from the cocoa right now. And then into this pot, I have some dill weed that I have, well, what do you call this when you use the mortar and the mortar and the pestle? I sound like there's an R in there at the end that I'm adding that shouldn't be there, but you get what I'm going after here. throwing soap. This one needs just a bit of a blend. I probably should have pre-blended that dill and just something else so it moved in just a little bit better. I just want the slightest of specklage. That's my goal here. It is very slight, a little bit more slight than anticipated. I probably should have a little bit more ground up. I'm just gonna plop this in. It's quite thick. Oops. And then try to get this cocoa one in there. It's gonna be ploppy. I do remember this about essential oils. They kind of accelerate a bit. I reduced my water a smidgen too, so that could be the biggest contributor here. Okay, so I have an idea. I'm gonna just go ahead and get this cocoa colored soap in there, and then I'm going to blend it around, I do believe. So it'll be kind of a base color. Sometimes these molds are hard to work with. They're so skinny. Wow, it smells amazing. My uncle has been trying to get me to make a soap like this for a long while, and I'm just now paying attention. I'm just gonna use a spoon and kind of turn it over in the mold. So it's just going to be a bit of a brown swirly base, I guess. Well, we had a bit of a situation. The camera overheated. So that was really not anticipated. I'm just going to add a little bit of dill on the top. I had not originally planned this, but I went downstairs and picked up a bit more fresh, well, it's dried dill. From my herb stash. Just kind of zigzagging it for something fun to do. Now we do have a lot of cedar trees in Missouri, and I love them, but we don't have any fir trees that I am aware of. I mean, other than someone who might have planted it specifically. Okay. Well, that's fun. This smells amazing, and I had a good time making some natural soaps. I have many more coming. My lavender sampler is going to be returning. So if you like more natural soaps, stay tuned. I'll see you back here for the cut. Alright, so it's time to cut these 4 soaps. This first one here is Lemongrass. Turned out quite nice. I do really enjoy lemongrass essential oil and soap. Now these bars are a regular size soap bar. I usually try to make these specialty soaps, essential oil or my natural, a little bit smaller, but as of right now they're the same size. I may cut little bits off their bottoms for samples, but we'll see. I measured out all my oils the other day and then realized that I made the wrong size batches, and I thought, you know what, just gonna roll with it. Won't hurt anything. So I probably won't cut the whole loaf of everything here. Let me see if pretty sure I'm cutting these the right size. I found that this little doodad here has been really wiggling around on me. So as it's pretty basic, I will probably just call that good. I feel like I need to move my lights a bit. This one here is my citrus blend. Now the last time I made this, it was very, very orange. Now the recipe is just a smidgen different this time. I am palm free now, and I think I had just like, you know, a slight variation in suppliers for my essential oils. And so this one's a little bit more opaque this time instead of that bright, bright orange. It was such a fun look. But for this time, it's just going to be this pretty yellow color. These are very simplistic but not inexpensive. Okay, now this one here is the Rosemary Mint. It's a nice creamy color. How lovely is that? Just simple and delightful. I'm hoping that they're not too boring for you. I try not to go too crazy with colorants when I'm doing my more natural soaps. I just like to do simple, less is better type of a situation. And so the final one here is the cedarwood and fir, and it was very, very thick, so it looks like I've had a little bit of trouble with the air pockets. So we'll see how this one turns out. If that's, the next time I make it, I'll have to increase my water or just don't do the same design. Now you can see even how the cocoa powder has changed color. So I cut this on Friday, my time. It is now Monday, but the uncut is much lighter. It's a very like milk chocolate color, even punier than that actually, but you can see on the edge how it's going to go darker. And you can see the little speckles from the dill. I am loving it. I like the dill, and I really like the essential oil blend. So far we're doing all right on air pockets. This one really thickened up on me, and then on top of that I was trying to figure out why my camera had shut off from the overheating and what I could do about that. So unfortunately this could be my last video for a while, or coming to being my last video for a while, just because my camera is about to bite the dust. I think it's taking the files and corrupting them, and sometimes I can retrieve the files and sometimes I can't. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And I don't necessarily have it in my budget currently to be buying a new camera. It's just the slow time of year for sales and all that. We'll just see how it rolls. I have bigger plans. I have a lot of exciting things that I'm working on right now, and so I don't have a large budget to be replacing my camera. Kind of an unexpected expense. So I'm having a few here on the side, but it's not too bad. I've also noticed that my camera seems to be etched, the glass. So there's a little spot you may have been seeing recently. So that's unfortunate, darn it. But that's what can happen when lye comes in contact with glass. And I probably splattered and didn't realize it right away to clean off the lens. So as a result, it has etched a little spot. So it looks like I'm doing pretty good. It's mostly been on the sides, which I'm going to clean those up anyway. So it looks like for the most part this was a success. Just really enjoy the dill on the top. I just think that's so neat. It smells slightly of dill, but it's very, very slight because it actually works really well with cedar and fir. Yeah, so this was about the worst of the bars right here at the end. So I can always cut some samples. So there we have lemongrass, citrus, rosemary, peppermint, and cedarwood and fir. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.